Did you ever expect that? Like, did you see that in your future, becoming a guy that puts together one of the most legendary careers in New York and even high school history?
No, I never thought of it. Honestly, I didn't even really think of it while I was going through it. It was just something that, every single day I woke up, was playing with my friends, my family, and, just wanting to win. I think what a lot of people think about it when they hear it is, he just wanted to score, he just wanted to do that. But quite honestly, this isn't a knock on any of my teammates or anybody in Glens Falls either. But I mean, I had to score that many points for us to win, and I think our team loved it because they had a role in it. One person's going to be a defensive stopper, one person's going to be a distributor, another guy's going to be a rebounder, and just all that. We had great role players. Like I said, my cousins, my family, my friends, they all did their jobs. They did it to the best they could. I think that's why we were so successful. And I think another thing is like you wouldn't really hear about it if we were losing all the time. You don't hear about a kid who averages 50 points but loses every single game. We were winning. I mean, my senior year, we won the state and federation championship. And, throughout my whole year, I think all my 5 years I played varsity, I think I only lost like 9 games total. So I think it was something to be talked about because we were winning.
That's a rare thing too. Like, not too many guys get to play high school for that many years too, and you got to start playing in eighth grade. Made your debut, and you had a great eighth grade season too. So, what led to that? Like, how did you get that opportunity, and just what was it like playing high school that early on?
Yeah, so I actually skipped over modified in middle school. So my seventh grade year, I played on the freshman team, and I actually played really well, led the team in scoring, assists, all that kind of stuff. And the varsity coach took notice of it. So then the next season, I had to complete the New York State varsity test, whatever, for middle school, being able to play varsity, and I completed it, passed it, and I got on varsity. And then literally my first game, I had 31 points and hit the game-winning three at the buzzer and then got my first offer the next day from High Point University. So I think just from there, it just kind of took off, and that came really fast, obviously. But leading up to it, it was just I always played up, and then my seventh grade year, I played freshman and played pretty well. So
You become the all-time leading scorer in New York history, past Lance Stevenson by over 1,000 points, and you really achieve a lot of different things there. But to be able to do that kind of feat, become a top 10 scorer in U.S. history as well, is not something easy that a lot of guys are obviously capable of doing. So how did you do that? Like, how did you become such an elite scorer throughout high school?
I think I give all the respect to my teammates and coaches because there's some people who could have said, "Oh no, this isn't fair. We don't want him doing this," or "Oh, I'm jealous of this, that, and the other thing." But no, all the teammates, all my coaches, even the community was all behind it and all behind us. Like it was a team thing. When I scored 50 points, we scored 50 points. So and we also scored. My teams averaged in my high school like 89 to 90 points a game. So, I was scoring 50 of them, but we also, other guys scored 40 points. Like we ran up and down, shot a lot of threes, and had a really fun way of playing basketball. So it gave me a perfect system and an opportunity for me to do what I do and do that. So it was really fun, but I definitely you got to give the credit to my teammates and coaches and just community in general for embracing it and not tearing it down.
Now, your first two seasons are numbers that are a little more comprehensible. So we'll get into those first ones at first. Your first one, 34 points a game, still something that very few guys are able to do, but some guys have done that. But you're doing this as a freshman. So how are you able to do that as a freshman? As well as that freshman year like for you in high school?
Yeah, like I said, the veterans above me, the leaders, the guys, they all, I like I said, were some of them are my family, but some of them are my friends as well, just playing sports all together, knowing them, knowing me, and they just kind of bought into it too, and kind of understood that even though I'm younger than them, that's going to be our best way to win, and so I got to give them all the credit for sure because being a 13-year-old kid, I wouldn't, and having 18-year-old leaders above me, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them got mad or said like, no, we're not doing this or anything. But I'll give them all the credit for allowing it and not being too mad about it.
Now, sophomore season, you start getting a lot more recognition. The awards start piling in as well. You guys go 24-1. You guys have a great season that year. You averaged 36 per game that season. So what was that sophomore year like?
Sophomore year was awesome. It was a big momentum swing from football because we just won the state championship, went undefeated, and the senior class that year was a really great athletic class. Had a lot of great athletes who played both basketball and football, so they knew what it took to win. And had great leaders, so I think that was it. They just bought into the system again, and had, like I said, really great leaders and really great athletes that helped in both sports.
Your junior season, you average 50 points a game. There's some guys that might have one or two big 50-point games that get put all over social media. You average that throughout the entire season as a junior. How did you do that? And just what was that junior year like?
Yeah, that was unreal, to be honest with you. I don't even know how to explain how I did it. Like I said, it just kind of came with how we were winning, how we were playing. We averaged nearly 90 points a game, and it was a fast-paced offense, a lot of threes, a lot of fast break opportunities, and just pretty much anybody on the court could get it and go. So we just scored a lot of points, and I think that obviously I took the majority of the shots, and I think that's why obviously I was scoring the most. But yeah, I mean that junior season is definitely where I took off. I got a little like from football, I got a little stronger, a little taller, a little bigger, and a lot of confidence that year. So I think that, and a lot of schools started offering me, and it just gave me even more confidence. So it was a lot of fun to say the least.
How did you manage to average that? Like going game in, game out, saying that you kind of expect yourself to drop 50. How did you kind of get that mentality locked in for you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously it's not the biggest or the best, competition in the world, the best league in the world, but it still produced guys like, Jimmy Fredette, Joe Creamer who played at, U Albany and Villanova, Mike Van Scoy played at Fairfield, a lot of other guys who played Division III and Division II ball at St. Rose, Siena, all those kind of places. So, I mean, it was a great league for me. Gave me the opportunity to do what I did, but at the same time, just staying locked in. Obviously, even so, like I was still getting 2 to 3 guys guarding me on one night. I mean, which was awesome for us. Gave us opportunities to open up other teammates, other shots, and then us, which when they made those, it opened up for me again. So it was just awesome. Great system, great fit for me, and we just did. We just won a lot of games because we played a really fun and high paced offense.
Now, your final year of high school basketball, you finally get the biggest award, biggest goal, I think, for you at least. That's state championship. All guys go 29-1. You average 49 points a game this time. Take us to the senior year and ultimately getting the big award for yourself.
Senior year was amazing. It was literally like a movie. Winning the football state championship, then winning basketball state championship, and federation championship. We went to Florida, played in the city of Palms for the 2 showcase games, and that was our only loss to a 6A school from Mississippi. We came back the next day and beat a 6A school from Georgia. So that just proves that, even though we didn't play competition, the best competition all year round, we still could compete with a lot of teams, with schools that are a lot bigger than us. I mean, in New York, we don't even have a AAA school. So we beat a 6A team. But yeah, senior year was amazing. Got all the awards and accomplishments that I had set out for goals of mine. And but I think the biggest one definitely was the icing on the top with the state and federation championship, just because I think that cemented my team's legacy for sure.
Now, one of the lessons about high school I want to get into is, as we talked about a couple of different times, you broke the all-time state record in scoring in New York, and people that know New York basketball in general know there's some of the best players to ever come out of there from New York. And you are finishing 4,763 points, passing Lance Stevenson by over 1,000. But looking at that number, knowing that you're a top 10 scorer in U.S. history, just what goes to your mind when you think about that?
It's crazy. Honestly, I still don't think I've had the time to really look back on it and be able to appreciate what it was. I'm still only 20 years old. I'm still playing college ball and hopefully making a career out of this. So, I think though when I'm older, I'll definitely look back on it and think about how crazy it was. But don't get me wrong, I do know and appreciate the New York basketball, how much legends have come through this state and brought basketball to an attention here. So I'm grateful for it all, but I definitely think later on I'll appreciate it even a lot more.